That boy is ours. Oh, hell yeah. Shooting range. Club Primavera. Shooting range. Fuck! I'm not ready. Oh, God. Fuck! I wasn't ready to actually do anything. Oh. No. No. Rose going off here. Which is great. You love to see Rose shooting it up. Phew. Aha! Got it. Great! Unsurprised. Thought I'd have to lead you hand in hand from square one. Butler was frankly surprised to see Rose's excellent shooting. Sorry, Leo has already been very thorough in his teaching. He's a very hard teacher. A glance at the target was enough to tell him that her accuracy was far better than what you'd expect from an amateur. However, instructor Cyrus scolded her relentlessly. You're still stiff. You're letting the gun take control. I'm sorry. You scared of guns? You think they're a tool for killing people? That's wrong. Guns are for protecting. Not for yourself, but for the people you're trying to protect. A moment's hesitation will give your opponent time to pull the trigger. Because of your hesitation, the bullet he fires might go through the chest of someone you're trying to protect. Shoot, shoot, shoot. A gun isn't a tool, it's a part of your body. Keep on shooting until it feels like a part of your hand. Yes, sir. Shooting. Jesus, Rose. She really was shooting a lot. But whatever works. Please. Barely fucking do this shit. That's the demon sergeant for you. Pretty strict. There's that. With a practice motion, Rose rapidly changed magazines, resumed fire with a stern expression. Rose had always been serious and earnest. Once she made up her mind to fight, she was a quick learner. To tell the truth, Butler didn't like seeing Rose holding a gun. I don't have a choice. However, as a captain of the occupying forces, he had to encourage them to fight. In that case, he had no choice but to train her thoroughly and hope that she'd come out alive. Off to the side of the shooting range, Leo seemed to be instructing Wayne in combat. Wayne, you still suck. He was acting out a series of motions designed to wrench up the arm of a foe holding a gun and steal their weapon. Now there's a surprise. Didn't know the Japanese army had their own CQC techniques. The classic Japanese martial arts have plenty of techniques to deal with someone armed with a knife. This is an extension of those. Damn, that's a good move. You got my gun before I knew what was going on. Surprised. Want some seconds? Again, I'll take a few more of those and ingrain the movements into my body. They were acting out a situation where Wayne pulled out a gun and pulled it at Leo at close range. Then Leo would grab Wayne's arm, holding the gun, slowly force it up, and slip the gun out of his hand. Now you try. The captain's watching, so make it look cool. Alright, I'll do it. Leo pulled out his gun at close range with a fairly skillful motion. Wayne grasped hold of his arm. Bang, he died. Damn it! Don't make me say it over and over again. Make sure the line of the gun barrel never touches your body. Stick to your enemy, then draw a nice big circle with your arm, and don't try to cut corners by making it small. That's why the gun barrel's pointing at you. Once you got the arm this far, you can cook things up however you like. You might make a jab at a solar plexus, for instance. If you spin their body around here, they'll make a pretty good shield. I mean, you could just break his fucking nose, too. Ow! Or you could try slamming them to the floor and whisper sweet nothings into their ear. I get it, I give up. Hey, Warren, could you stop flirting around already? It's time to iron out your shooting, get over here. I'll pin Rose down now. So it's finally my turn, let's do it. Oh god. Wayne went to the shooting booth alongside Rose's. Leo watched him go, waving his hand with a keep it up kid, before plopping down on a shabby sofa. I was ready for more shooting practice. Hurts my heart to see a young man like that to the front lines. Send a young man like that to the front lines. Wonder if that means I'm getting old. History has been always made by the young. It's not fair for old geezers to take guns out of the hands of the young and keep history all to themselves. That's hardly something I'd expect to hear from people that used to ban swords. For centuries, this country had no concept of protection for private citizen. Protecting your life and safety was thought to be something filthy, a job for the nation instead of the individual. It's almost funny. Can't believe a people like that proclaimed that they were gonna free all of Asia. True enough, the Japanese are too fastidious about pretty much everything. We've got so many hypocrites who love fried chicken but couldn't bear to wring a chicken's neck. In the age when the country could protect the people, they could get away with that. But that's not true anymore. Japan has been destroyed. We're the people of a lost nation. To protect ourselves, we have to pick up our own guns. It does sound troubling. But you're planning to make Rose shoot, too. I can understand if it was for self-defense, but the style of shooting isn't how you'd protect yourself. That style is for shooting down enemies. That is self-defense. I mean, just because you're shooting someone down doesn't mean it's not self-defense either way. Are you planning to drag her out into the gunfight too? No, just so she doesn't die if she gets stuck in one. Basically. Rose needs a legend. A legend? Yeah. She needs a legend about how she shot down Father Caleb with her own hands. A woman with nothing but good looks won't have enough charisma to control the criminal underworld. She can control me. Are you saying she can become a woman of legend? She can. We'll make her a legend in City 23 Underworld. Japanese men love romantic tales like that. Without at least something like that, she'll never be able to earn the respect of those mafia men. So you're trying to make her the Madam of Primavera family in the truest sense. That woman will lead the city forward. Easy. Thank you. The Rich Bumbo. When they called James to request a meeting, he responded saying that he wanted to introduce them to some people. In particular, several powerful leaders in the Caleb family. Every one of them had enough ability to rule over their own families. Now that Caleb had gotten himself stuck by letting the occupying forces provoke him and crossing several lines, these men were likely to continue swearing allegiance to him forever. On the inside, they knew their ship had run aground. However, it won't be easy to betray Caleb, and they had nowhere else to go. This fucking music, Jesus. In other words, James had brought together the key members that might possibly go along with Leo's plan. Damn it. I am Richard Mayuki. In charge of Primavera's financial affairs, it is a pleasure to meet you. You do realize there's a price on your head, don't you? Pretty hard to believe you even showed up today. You don't think of any us to try and sell you out. No one's beyond a bit of betrayal, as long as there's money in it, that is. Love and friendship don't exist in the underground. Everyone's just a gamble. Everything's just a gamble. Winning horses and losing horses, it's all that matters. If all of you wish to sell me out, all I have to do is prove that you've more to gain by joining us. Doesn't the fact that all of us have gathered here prove that you're hoping for something? Hey, guys got guts. Which means we gotta now you've gotta explain what makes your horse so strong. If you can't do that, we'll just tie you up and throw you in a trunk right there. Miguel's just been itching to take a slice out of you. I'll hand this over to Leo. Threats are not my specialty. So you want us to explain what makes our horse so strong? What's so funny? You've let me down, James. Couldn't you find anyone better than this? What do you say? A little horde's bodyguard like you'd better watch his mouth. No need to get fired up, everybody. Seems his meeting was arranged so that Primavera could present us with a small gift. All of us have it rough financially. Those are the times we live in, after all. Because of that, Richard's offering to give us a little support. If you're going to looking to bribe us, you'd better be hiding a big sack of money somewhere. James is the one who's introducing you to us. Means we can expect a lot out of you, don't it? Richard, if you will. These are all for you. Please accept them. For you all. Richard opened up a trunk and placed a small object wrapped in silk before each of them. Then in front of James alone, he placed a small envelope. So just how much we got wrapped in here? Let's have a look. Isn't this a bit small? When they opened a bundle without hesitation, a single wrapped stack of fresh bills appeared, so crisp that it looked like you could cut it yourself on the edges. Single bundle of 1,000 bills. Huh? In other words, it was 100,000 Japanese dollars for each of them. More than enough to hand out as a greeting. Considering what you've been on the run, this is pretty impressive. But if you put this on a scale with Father Caleb, it doesn't even come close, does it? The bundle given to their leader, James, also had a stack of $1,000 bills. So the envelope he had received in addition to the stack caught everyone's interest. The bosses were sure it held a check for an enormous sum. These packs of money were little more than business cards, so a large check would make sense. Surely the message was that they could split that check if they agreed to be bribed. Mind if I open this now? Please, go ahead. I thought you in particular would be pleased by that, so I brought it for you. Just a little surprise present. When James opened the leather, another $1,000 note appeared. Not just a single $1,000 bill. The boss's eyes went wide with confusion. Take a look at the serial number. Now, there's a surprise. 77777. How rare. There's a gift from Madame Rose. You're a gambler after all. Might as well keep it as a good luck charm or something. Oh, quite an unexpected present. Thank you, Leo. Richard? Tell Madame Rose I'm grateful to receive such a wonderful present. It's no big deal. Just a thing whose worth wouldn't be apparent to anyone but you. So if you have no objections, allow us to take our leave. James and everyone else gathered here, we ask that you lend us your aid in our mission. We'll contact you again, James. We hope for a favorable answer. Leo and Richard laughed. The room went silent again. After a short pause, it exploded in a burst of laughter. They really think that'll be enough, do they? I see how little they think of us. Looks like they're taking even the great James Tomitake for a fool, eh? Fools. What's that? Haven't you figured it out yet? Can't you see that they're putting you to the test? They're trying to see if you got the brains to be worthy of joining Primavera. If these stacks of bills look like a few paltry $100,000, get your asses out of the black market. James furiously rose to his feet. The other bosses didn't have a clue what was going on. The point is that it's like hyper specialized and that they could get literally any bill they wanted, and they chose that one. Like, obviously. You still don't get it, do you? Turn those bundles over and look at the wrapper. On the reverse side, there was a banker's signature, indicating that there are 100 bills in the stack, as well as the name of the bank. China Japan Bank. Katsushika branch. Katsushika? You mean City 22? The meaning of that slowly seeped into their brains. You dumb fucks. Then James held up the bill with a series of lucky sevens, slamming it on the table. Did you think a bill with all sevens would just be floating around the city? Normally, a bill like this would be taken directly off the presses and sent to the chief or one of his gang. Of course, Japanese dollars were being produced under American supervision. In that case, it was clear who the original owner of this bill was. And this is how Madame Rose is present to us? Don't you get it now? Can't you see that they're being backed by Chinatown and the occupying forces? No, the GHQ itself. Impossible. In that case, the occupying forces really are opposed to the father. That's not all, if even Chinatown is on their side. The bosses were now completely aware of the magnitude of the situation. They whispered to each other, glancing over to see James's expression. Dang it, Madame Rose, that's one hell of a present. James held the lucky bill up to the light and growled. By now, it didn't take someone as clever as him to see who the next ruler of City 23 would be. Good. More people. The streetlights that once bloomed as brilliantly as a nighttime flower were now little more than a memory. Even Club Primavera had gone to seed. The regular customers with their clever jokes and the gentlemen with their gracious tips were all gone. The bodyguards here to protect Amanda were always wandering about. Their punk underlings were also always making passes at the girls to stave off boredom. The doubts of the club had sunk to were devastating to behold. The ruler of this place, Amanda, rarely ever showed herself around these days. I don't think I've ever seen her since last week. She's hardly ever around lately. She may call herself the madam, but she never goes to the club. I see, that's annoying. There's a phone call from Meryl. For the first step of the feign attack strategy, it was essential that Amanda had be taken hostage upon returning to Primavera. Unless that happened, there was a chance Caleb wouldn't send reinforcements. They had to plan for a day that Amanda would definitely be present. Okay, as soon as we know, we'll contact you. Leave it to us. All the girls in this club are on our side. We know that someday the Madame Rose will get the captain's help and chase them all out. You can count on that. Rose has been reborn. She's prepared to fight all out as our madam. She's already made arrangement with many of our allies to prepare for the fight. It's so reassuring to hear you say that. This time we'll definitely fight alongside Rose. So please take back our Primavera. What are you saying? It's the complete truth, right? Of course. Rose will fight, of course we will too. However, I won't let anyone sit around and enjoy the show while we do all the dirty work. Of course. Well, if you're asking us to take a gun like you and fight, that might be pretty hard. Still, we don't plan on sitting around. We'll give it our all too. The girls are doing every little thing they could to bear as much of the risk themselves as possible. After all, even contacting Meryl from this place, one of the Caleb family's favorite hangouts, was extremely dangerous in itself. They may not have been prepared to pick up guns, but their resolve was no less firm than if they were. Amanda is Caleb's one trump card. If he lets her slip away, then even recapturing the club won't be victory for him. Yep, he'll be fucked. Yeah, we'll give it our all. Unless Amanda's bodyguards were complete fools, their first priority in case of an attack would be to evacuate her immediately. Because that the ladies of the club would have to quietly capture Amanda right before the attack. Can you do it? It'll take guts to pull this off. We've got it, don't we? So we will. This could be our only chance to teach Amanda a lesson after all. Shh, Amanda's here. Sorry, we'll call you back later. Bye. She set the receiver down hurriedly and dashed out to the front, out of the office in a fluster. At the other end of the corridor, Amanda was approaching, followed by her guards. With an apologetic attitude, the girls tried to dash past Amanda. Hold on. What is it, Madam Amanda? Is there something? No, it's nothing. Forgive me for stopping you. Okay, we'll be on our way then. For a while, Amanda stared at their quickly retreating backs. As a leader among women, these creatures of strong instincts, Amanda's own intuition was considerable. She entered an empty office, but the sin and presence of these women still clearly remained. It was enough to tell Amanda that they had been talking about something at length with sweaty hands. Something exciting and tense. What's wrong, madam? It's nothing. It was a sensitivity that the men surely couldn't begin to grasp. If she explained that the scent of these women still lingered here, they would probably agree to that much. Yeah, I agree. But if she told them that they had been making a secret phone call to Rose's group, they would probably have to say that there was no evidence. No, they'd still agree. Oh, I'm sure. Let's go fucking rape them or something. And like men, there were things that could be seen by women without their eyes. Thanks to that, she had guessed even what they were talking about. Can you tell those girls to come in here? Yes, madam. Looks like you're finally ready to come of age. Not just as a mere leader of ladies of the evening, but as someone with much greater ideals. Did you call for us, Madam Amanda? My apologies for summoning you. Would you mind setting up a room for me? A room? It's been dangerous out there lately, hasn't it? Still, I've grown tired of changing my lodgings every night. That's no good, madam. If the worst happened... I have decided. Do you wish to object? You don't, do you? Understood. So that's that. For the next few days, I'll spend the night in this club. Please let all the others know if you would. The girls looked at each other in excitement at this unexpected big news. They'd probably rush off and report to Stella and the rest. The guard seemed agitated too. After all, that was the first time Amanda had ever spoken of spending the night at Primavera. Amanda shooed them all away and was alone. Then she sat down on the sofa across from the madam's chair and gazed up at the ceiling. I'm so glad, Rose. Just once at the very end, I'll get to see you in all your splendor. I still don't like her, okay? Fuck off. Still a cunt. Three cars drove into an uptown back alley. Then when the cars reached the back door of a large hotel, those inside got out and quickly walked into the building. Caleb stood at the front of the group. The men who'd boasted of uniting City 23 Underworld and dealing with occupying forces on an even footing was now changing hotels every day in fears of assassins. In the past, he'd swaggered about boldly. However, now he entered via a car parked at the back door, quickly disappeared inside without striding across the luxurious lobby. Damn it, it's enough to make you cry. Caleb, you shouldn't stand around outside. Yeah, I got it. You're right. After getting Caleb to move along, Miguel looked around in all directions. Once he was sure there was no suspicious-looking people lurking in the shadows, he hurried into the hotel too. Several high-class hotels offered suite rooms to the Caleb family for free, in place of protection money. By hopping from one to another, Caleb was trying to make it hard to locate his position. His high-ranking subordinates knew this too, but they would have no idea which hotel he was staying at. However, even this behavior was limited to the hotels Caleb favored. After their meeting, James Tomatake promised to support Primavera. Little by little, various bits of information regarding Caleb's surroundings were leaked out. Eventually, this evolved into a list of the hotels that Caleb circulated through. Epic. Thanks, James. Now all that was needed was strength in numbers. That was where Chinatown excelled. The entire sequence of events, from Caleb's cars approaching the back of the hotel to his men vanishing within the building, had been witnessed by a man looking down on them from a room in a nearby building. So we finally got him by the tail. Information certainly is like a tail. If you pull it in slowly, you're bound to catch something big. The list of hotels we got from James has been a powerful tool. Under normal circumstances, switching between hideouts is an ineffective way to hide. True enough. It is a strategy used only when fear of traitors exist. It means he knows better than anyone else. The curtain's falling on the Caleb Empire. All we have to do is give our stamp of approval. We've seen signs of him using every hotel on the list. He spent between 1 to 3 days at each location. And the choice of hotel is completely random. Most likely, we haven't been able to find any pattern. Rumor has it he is using Miguel's intuition and whims to decide which hotel and how long to stay there. There's no way a man like Caleb could manage such an elaborate concealment strategy. Indeed, the support of that man Miguel, with his exceptional instincts, must count for a lot. There's no one harder to read than him. No matter how much we read into their movements, Miguel's the one person I doubt will ever trick. There's no need to fear, we have Leo Shishigami on our side. Okay, I get it, I'll start studying Chinese for real from now on. So could we please stick to Japanese for today? I'm sorry I just slipped into Chinese. I guess you're the only one out of the loop. This here is the Belton Plaza Hotel. It is the furthest hotel from Primavera. In other words, X days whenever Caleb next visits that place. We'll make the enemy focus on Primavera and have the captain block the roads. Then the police will round them up, leaving Caleb isolated. We'll have no way to tell that he is coming to this hotel until immediately before he enters it, correct? Correct. All we have to do is observe the hotel and wait for him to appear. In other words, we're all set to go, and now we're just waiting for Caleb. Well, as to that, wasn't the assault to be split into two groups attacking Primavera in the hotel? Have you finished selecting members for both groups? We've left it to Leo and Cyrus to decide that. They'll be leaders of the two teams, and Meryl and I will probably go to Primavera. I wonder which will become a fiercer battlefield. If the surprise attack succeeds completely, the hotel would be much safer. Caleb will only have a minimum number of bodyguards on him. On the other hand, Primavera will have enemy reinforcements swarming around it. However, I can't imagine Caleb and Miguel falling for such a surprise attack so easily. Exactly, we've got no idea which battle will end up being the fiercest. What do you think, Leo? I'm really sorry. Ni Hao's the only Chinese I know. I can introduce you to an excellent Chinese class, Leo. And of course, the teacher will be one of those glamorous women you love so much. I forget. I know Wow I Ni, too. I don't know what that one. Big titties? Love you? Give me some fuck? One of those, probably. Hello, pretty lady, maybe. City 1 in the Tokyo metropolis, located in the old Chiyoda City. Hello. Area change? It had been once the core of the Empire of Japan, the place where all the authority and functions of the capital were gathered. That had not changed after the American and Chinese occupation. The headquarters of the Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces, otherwise known as GHQ. On paper, the Japanese government still governed Japan after the ending of the war, but it goes without saying that this was a puppet government. Everyone who didn't conform to their views had been chased out of the administration. So there could be no doubt that this place was the core of post-war Japan.